The Niners, the Patriots, the Panthers, the Broncos, the Bears, all of those interesting in their own way. Now, this was closed for the most part, so not too many people got a chance to see what happened, but one of those who did is the mayor of Columbus, Ohio, as I like to call him. That's my buddy, Bobby Carpenter, who just finished his radio show, and he's good enough to jump in with us here with Lewis and Booger. Bobby, good morning, as always. First and foremost, what can you tell us about yesterday as far as who you saw there and what the importance of what you think happened yesterday?
Well, I think it's important, obviously, to have the second pro day this year because they don't have these personal one-on-one visits. They don't have the private workouts that they used to have before. So that was a chance for Kyle Shanahan to hand his script over and say, hey, go for this, Justin Fields. This is what you're going to be able to do. Let me see you work on some of the things that I'd like to see you do. Joe Brady was there from the Panthers, their offensive coordinator. So he's locked in and watching after, his head coach and general manager were just there the last time. So you put all of these people around, you get to see him one more time. You get to touch and kind of feel the guy for what he kind of stands for, his substance, how he carries himself. And to me, that's probably the biggest thing because he went out there. It was second verse, same as the first as far as throwing. All these guys look great. He's got a powerful arm. But what does he look like? How does he command? How does he communicate with his receivers, which he did really, really well, talking to some young freshmen through some of these NFL route concepts.
Did you see anything of consequence in any of the interactions, be it with, we saw Josh McDaniels, Patriots, that's interesting. You mentioned Brady from the Panthers. There's Kyle Shanahan in that photo talking to Ryan Day. What, if anything, did you see in the interactions that you thought was important?
I thought it was very interesting at the end. As you're sitting there watching, it's kind of been thrown around a little bit of some images of him kind of laughing with Kyle Shanahan. And the 49ers traded up a lot. So people thought, who are they coming to get? Is it Mac Jones? You've thrown out there, Greeny, it could be Trey Lance, which I think also would fit. But you see the interaction, it seemed like there was a genuine respect there. The communication, they joked around for about a minute and a half. And so you're watching this, and I think that Kyle was kind of impressed, at least about what you would have seen afterwards.
So let me bring everyone in here. And Lewis, let me come to you again as one who has done this. I mean, has literally had to make these decisions. We're close enough to the end of the process that I find myself wondering, particularly for a team like San Francisco, let's say, that made the aggressive move to come up. Can anything happen at this stage of the process that would change their mind? Could going and seeing Justin Fields in person yesterday be significant enough that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch in San Francisco could actually change their mind about what they're doing at number 3?
Sure, anything's possible, Greeny. Look, because we're dealing with human beings, right? And we're dealing with. It's not like we're talking about Justin Fields is. I think it may have been Field or yourself who said it earlier. I mean, Justin Fields is not like some consolation prize, man. It's not like we're talking about Mac Jones and then maybe we'll consider Justin Fields here. So let's just get a look at. This guy is a premium prospect here. This guy's going to be a superstar in the NFL. So yeah, there's very much so the possibility that they could have got something out of yesterday that they didn't expect to get out of yesterday, or they could have gotten some kind of feel for Justin with Kyle standing there and looking him in the face and talking to him one-on-one for the brief time that he did, that could sway how he feels depending upon how close he had these two rated in the first place. Look, if his mind is already made up, if he already feels as though after having seen Mac Jones in person, scouted Mac Jones, getting all the requisite information from all of his lieutenants in his personnel department that he's your guy, then maybe what happened yesterday doesn't do anything for him other than just check off another box. But if it's real close, sure, there's something that he could latch onto that says, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to go this way with it. Because he doesn't have to satisfy us. He doesn't have to have already been locked in on one guy when he moved up, despite the fact that people say he needed to be. He could have had 2 guys in mind. Hell, he could have 3 guys in mind, and he's still trying to figure it out. That's up to him. So, yeah, yesterday could carry a lot of weight for him.
Booger, if I were to give you the job right now of being the 49ers general manager, I'm literally giving you that job right now, and I'm saying you go ahead and make the pick. Which one are you taking? Which quarterback of the 3 we expect to be available are you taking?
Greeny, I'm going to take Justin Fields, and I'm going to maximize my ability to be efficient and to make plays in all areas because we sat there and we saw highlights from his first pro day. The elite arm, he can throw the football anywhere, all the jargon, he can make all the throws. But what he also can do make good decisions, throw the football accurately, the toughness. We saw the hit in the championship game, the semifinal game against Clemson. Then he came back and played against Alabama in the championship game. So you know you're getting a tough guy. You know you're getting a guy that's going to show up. And on top of that, Greeny, Kyle Shanahan has to ask himself the question. When I called the play and when I set it up for it to be completely successful and the defense just has my number, can whoever I pick make me right? I'm not going to make myself right in that situation. I'm going to call a play that the defense is going to cover. Do I have a quarterback that can make me right? I don't know if Mac Jones can make him right, Greeny. And to your point about do they know who they're going to pick, I think by now, Greeny, any good organization who's had months of scouting, the coaches have had months to look at this tape, they know who they're going to pick. Now, why they went to Columbus, maybe they wanted to just lay another set of eyes on Justin Fields. But I know one thing, when John Lynch took the job, my former teammate, the one thing he talked about when he took the job was maximizing his time. I don't think he flew across the country to be in Columbus just to hang out and just to check a box. That way we all can say, hey, he went to every pro day. No, he did that for a reason. Now, maybe it was to confirm or maybe it was something else. But I do think by now they've made their mind up. You don't waste your time. Time is too valuable in the team building process. And if it were me, Green, it's really simple. I wouldn't even hold the card for long. I would write Justin Fields' name down and I would walk up because I can maximize what he can do in the pocket and also the extra element outside the pocket, which is so valuable these days.
Go ahead, Bobby.
And so, lastly, I'll leave you with this here, Greeny. When Lewis is talking about meeting him, your film is essentially your resume. But there's a reason why we do interviews when you're trying to hire somebody. You want to be able to be there. You want to look them in the eye. You want to have a feeling for what they are. After Pro Day, I sat down with Justin for about 25 minutes, and it reaffirmed to me how impressive he was with what type of human he was, how he carried himself. And then I even joked with him about the baseball thing and him talking about how he hasn't competitively thrown a baseball really since high school. So he's checking all the boxes for you as a leader of your organization because the skills and the elite traits are obviously there.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.